In this video, I'll be going over how to record services in ClientTrack. Services are those individual things that you offer a client and record into ClientTrack, different than the initial enrollment that you do when you first see a client and enroll them into your program. So you will always need to do an enrollment first, and then services, again, are those ongoing things that you offer a client while they are enrolled into your project. There's actually several different forms within ClientTrack that allow you to record services. However, regardless of what form you use to record the service in, it will all end up in the same place. And so what I mean by that is on the client's dashboard, for instance, here you'll see the client's name and then services. This always is going to list the most recent services that the client has received. It doesn't matter which form you use to record those services on, it's going to show up here. You can also click on services here with this menu option, and it will show you a list of services as well, and also give you option to delete any services that you've recorded, as well as also edit services that you've recorded here. So the most basic way to add services is the Add New button. And so this, again, just click Services and Add New. And we'll go through this quickly. The first thing is going to require you to go ahead and choose the enrollment that you're recording this service for. So again, if the client does not have an enrollment, you're not going to be able to record a service. So we want to go ahead and choose the appropriate enrollment here. The grant option here is more for sorting purposes, and so based on what grant I choose, it will then show me a list of services that have been matched up to that grant. So for instance, on this grant, and this is training, so it's going to look different, or you'll have different options in production. But for this grant, you see there's two different services that we have options to record. These are the categories listed here in the bold. So these are the actual two services. If I choose a different grant, though, you'll see a different list, a larger list of services. So this just allows you to kind of pare down so you don't see this ginormous list of available services. Once we find the service we want to record, we go ahead and select that. This date here, we want to make sure whatever date we have here is the date that the client is actually receiving the service. You can also click the little calendar icon and change that if it was a different date. Units is how many of this particular service the client is getting, and unit value is the value of that particular service. So for instance, if I was going to say let's say we paid 2 months rent for a client, we could record that as 2 units with a value of, say the rent was $500, and then it'll automatically calculate that as 1,000. So this way it gives you a good way of recording what you've actually provided for the client. It automatically is going to fill in your name as the one that's performing the service. There is a little comment box here, so you can add a comment if that'd be helpful for whatever service you're recording. And then also it's going to have the default restrictions down here. If you are a restricted agency, this is going to default to restrict to organization. If not, it'll stay here for restrict to MOU. And then we would just click Save. And as we can see, now this service is listed here. So as you can see, services is something that's very quick to add versus an enrollment where you're doing all the assessment questions and all of that. Services is very quick. Another way to record services that can be very helpful, especially if you are recording multiple services for one client on the same day, is the quick service option. To get to quick services, you can either hover over services and then go to quick services, or from the standard services screen that we're on now, you can click on quick services here. Either way, it's going to take you to the same form. First off, we'll have a date. So this is, of course, the date that the client is receiving the service. We'll go ahead and choose the enrollment. Again, choosing the grant is going to filter what services we have available to us. And then you'll actually get a screen where you can actually just check the services that this client is getting on this day. So in this way, if you are providing multiple services to a client, this form is going to help you do this in a much more proficient way than doing the standard services screen. Once we set that, we can go ahead and do save and close. And now you'll note we've just given all 4 of those services to that client. So again, very easy way to record multiple services for one client. Another option is under case notes. If you add case notes to a client, you'll notice at the bottom of that there is an area where you can actually add services as well. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do a test case note. Then here at the bottom, again, you're going to select the enrollment, select the grant, select the service. Over here, if you do need to change the unit value or units, you can change those options over here. And then if you were to click save, it will save that case note and then also save that service. So if we go, even though we recorded that service under case notes, if we go to service, we'll see it listed here as well. So again, regardless of where you're recording the service at, what form you're using, it's all going to be recorded under services. So there's no need to go record it under one form and then go record it under another form. Final way of recording services is actually found on the Home tab. So this is kind of out of the different ways of recording services, this is going to be kind of the most different, and this is called Quick Services Multiple Clients. So again, you want to make sure you are on the Home tab. We want to click Quick Services Multiple Clients. This form is going to be beneficial if you are recording the same service for multiple clients. So, for instance, we're going to go ahead and choose a grant here to get our list of services. We're going to say we gave a case management service yesterday. And what this form will allow you to do is actually select multiple clients to record this one service on this date for. So there's a couple options of selecting clients. One, I can pull up this screen right here with the magnifying glass and I can start typing in my clients' names, selecting them, and then I will still have to select enrollment. And I can keep going down this list, adding all of the different clients that receive this service, build this list up. As you continue on, it's going to keep adding lines, so you can do as many clients as you want. And then once you have those in there, you would just hit save and close, and it's automatically going to then record all those services for those individual clients. Another option you have that could be useful is this option at the bottom here where it says only show clients enrolled in, and then you can select your project. So if we do this, it might do, depending on what web browser, you might get a pop-up, do you want to refresh the search results? I'm going to click OK. Then it's going to give me a list of all the clients that are currently enrolled in this project, and then give me the option of checking them, putting a check mark by their name to go ahead and assign this service to. So this is great if you have a project that doesn't have a huge amount of currently enrolled clients and there's a service that you commonly record for them each day. Maybe you have an emergency shelter and you give them a meal every day. You could easily select that emergency shelter program. You'll see a list of all your currently enrolled clients, select the meal service, and then put a check mark by each of those people that got one, hit save and close. Again, this is a great time saver tool to record services when you have a lot of different people receiving the same service. And again, even if we're recording services on this screen, if we go to pull up the client, we're going to see that service listed under here. And then also, if we ever need to edit a service, we click the little notebook beside the service. That's going to give you option to change the date, change the unit value, also read the comments if we had saved any comment on it. And if we've ever recorded services we didn't need to, you can use the delete button here to delete those. If we've deleted a service and we need to restore it, you can actually go to the recycle bin up here. You'll see any services that have been deleted. You can click on this icon to restore it. Then we'll want to exit the recycle bin, and then we'll see that listed here. So that is services in a nutshell. As always, if you have any questions, please submit a ticket using the help icon up here so that we can reach out and help you. Thank you.